Ooh, well this is a room y'all have never been in before for obvious reasons. Welcome to our guest room / storage room. In the background you will see a guitar poster Caleb never uses, some boxes holding packaging materials, olive oils in their shipping containers, and some nice IKEA bedspreads. Hi everyone, for those who don't know me, my name is Katie. I am the Duchess of Suds here at Royalty Soaps, and I'm a soap maker. I make lots of soap. Lots of different kinds, and today we're going to be making some rosemary mint soap. It is a low top recipe, and this video should be relatively quick because the style is very simple, it's very elegant, it smells amazing, it just didn't take that long to do. But I must say, I'm pretty darn pleased with the outcome. If you aren't following me already, I have 2 Instagram accounts, one for Royalty Soaps and one for Personal Matters, and I have some really exciting personal matters coming up. But I can't tell you guys anything now because nothing has been finalized. I have to sign some papers. Hint, hint. But there's lots of stuff to look forward to in the coming weeks, so be sure to go follow me over there. I will leave links down below. And without further ado, let's get soap making. This soap is going to be comprised of 4 separate layers. One of them is going to be like a completely solid color, and then the other 2 are going to be marbled. So it's going to look really cool. So we're going to start with the first 2 layers here with this first bucket. I'm going to pour my lye water solution in. And then I'm going to blend until all of the lye water solution and the oils have come to a light trace. And I'm gonna pour the entire bucket into these 2 smaller buckets. I'm gonna fill them up to that lip there first, that way I can make sure I have even amounts. Where's my scraper? It's gone away. I found it. Okay, I'm gonna scrapey out my big containy, the whole thing, because I'm not gonna be mixing anything up in this big bucket anymore, so I wanna make sure it's all in these 2 smaller ones. These buckets are completely even, so these are gonna be our first 2 layers. I'm going to move this one right out of the way because we're not gonna deal with that right now. We're just gonna worry about the first layer, which is going to be green. Before I begin putting in the green colorant, I'm gonna take a little bit of this soap out. I'm going to mix it with French green clay. This is from Nurture Soap. With my little popsicle stick, and then I'm gonna put it back in there. I don't put clays directly into the soap mixture because it kind of has a problem with clumping. It never really gets fully incorporated, and it just kind of looks bad in the finished product. I've got the green clay here, so I'm just gonna mix that in. It doesn't look very green to me. It looks kind of gray and gross. And now I'm just gonna pour that right on top here. And now it's time to add the actual colorant. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Green Vibrance Mica. This is from Nurture Soap. I'm gonna add a little bit of Celadon Green. This is also from Nurture Soap. And just to bring it all together, I'm gonna add a teeny tiny bit of titanium dioxide mixed with water. Now we're going to blend all these goodies together and add the fragrance oil. The fragrance oil I am using today is Rosemary Mint, and it smells so amazing. So I'm gonna put the proper amount in our bowl here. The fragrance oil has been added in now, so I'm gonna blend it all up, and then we can begin pouring into our gray slab molds. The gray slab molds have been lined, so I'm gonna start pouring in the soap batter. I'm gonna pour half of it into this container and half into the other. I'm just gonna give this a little shake here to make sure that all the soap is even across the top, and then we're gonna mix up the next part. Now we will move on to the second layer, and this is the one that I think is going to look the most interesting. So into the big bucket, I've added some titanium dioxide, and I've also added some lavender jojoba beads, just because, I don't know, I was feeling fun. I haven't used those in a while. And then into the smaller container, I've added some lavender mica from Nurture Soap, with a teeny tiny bit of titanium dioxide just to make it sort of that pastel lavender. Then I'm gonna add in some fragrance oil to both of these after I blend them with the stick blender, and we will pour it in a marbled fashion into the molds. Ugh, sorry you guys, y'all missed the blending of the purple. I had a little bit of battery trouble there, but now the fragrance oil is in, so I'm just mixing it in by hand so it will stay nice and fluid. Most of the time I do mix it in with a stick blender though. So now I'm gonna move over here to this side and just mix all that in as well. And then I'm gonna pour this purple into this big white container to kind of give it that swirly look we're going for. Everything's blended in, so let's pour this purple from up high. I'm gonna come around the perimeter, and then I'm gonna come a little closer. That way some soap gets both on the bottom bit and the top bit. And now let's pour this second layer. To pour this next bit, I have to have Caleb's help because I don't want to break this surface. I want it to be nice and flat, but I can't get my bucket here very close without completely messing it up. So Caleb's gonna hold my spatula for me, and I'm gonna pour over it so that it breaks the fall of the soap. Yeah, we'll start right over here. He's just gonna gently guide it. We'll probably go in a bit of a square, like I said, just to make sure that I don't break that surface and it stays nice and flat. Oh yes, this is going to look so nice. And I'm willing to admit, this is not actually my design. We can all credit Caleb with this one. This is his idea, and I think it's gonna look grand. Let's get the spots we missed because we wanna make sure that every single bit is kind of flat. Okay, I think that's about half. Looks like about half to me. We might need a little bit more in here, but for now, thank you very much, sir. I'm just going to give it a little shake, and then I'm gonna move on to the second loaf. I'm just gonna shake this with my hands. It's still light enough that I can pick it up. At the very end, when it's completely full, I won't be able to do that so easily. All right, next one here, and my soap batter is getting a whole lot thicker, which is not really that big a deal, but just something to note as I pour. Caleb, you're a master at guiding that spatula. He anticipates my every need. All right, I still have a little bit left in my bucket, but I'm gonna shake this out again just to make sure that, ooh, I've got some on my thumb there, just to make sure that I have even amounts in both molds. Ooh, you guys, look at this. Oh yeah, so pretty. So after I get all of the scraps into here, because I am going to scrape the container out, I want it to be basically as flat as I can get it. So we'll probably bang these down on the ground, and then I will either manually go back with my spatula and flatten out the tops, or if banging it down flattens it out, then I won't have to do anything, and I will start mixing up the next batch of soap. Now for this second half, I didn't mix anything up on camera because you guys have already seen me do it, but I am gonna show the pouring part because that's the most fascinating part anyway. I can't do this without a spatula. It's technically completely hard enough. It would probably be 100% fine if I did, but it just, oh, it just the idea of messing up that soap kills me, so I'm gonna use the spatula instead. Time to do the very last layer. I'm really excited about this because then I get to put the fun decorations on top. So once again, Caleb's going to hold the spatula for me. It's kind of funny because I was just thinking about this, Caleb, and it totally reminds me of on Toy Story where Woody is trying to convince the people in the other house that Buzz is with him, and he's like holding the arm himself. And so I was just thinking about your arm being here, but they can't actually see it's you. That doesn't have much to do with it, but it just reminded me, you know what I'm saying? This is setting up a little bit, so I'm going to try to do it myself. I probably should have like poured it into a smaller container on the other side, but you live and learn. Well, one way or another, all the soap ended up in the molds where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna take this spoon here Just kind of texture the top. I'm really doing this kind of random. I just don't want it to look flat in some bits and kind of textured in other bits. So I'm just gonna go all the way around the mold. Also, I love how Caleb didn't say anything when I was like, oh, you remind me of just having an arm. Like in the movie, just to prove that in fact I was just maneuvering above it. The top has been textured on both sides, so I am going to add some colored salts. And I have this one mixed with Wisteria purple, I have this one mixed with lavender, and I have this one mixed with Celadon green, and all of those micas can be gotten at Nurture Soap Supplies. I'm gonna start with the purples because I have the most of those. I'm just gonna sprinkle them here on top. Yes, it's already looking so good. And of course, because I'm using some of the same colors that I used inside the soap, it's perfectly complementary. It's just a different shade. I'm gonna move along to the second purple just because I feel like the green is probably gonna pop more if I put it on the top. And I'm not gonna be adding any glitter to the top of this because it does kind of have a natural feel to it, and it definitely has sort of a natural smell to it. So we're gonna leave it glitter free. And finally, time for this light green color. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It honestly might be kind of hard to see on the camera though, now that I'm looking at it. And the soap is finished. I'm gonna spritz it with rubbing alcohol and I will bring you guys in for a close-up. So this is the top of the soap, and now you can see those little green sprinkles a lot better, and the really pretty shimmer they add to the top of these bars. So I will be back in 24 to 48 hours to cut them up after this quick commercial break. We are back the next day to cut this soap. It is smelling up my entire studio with its beautiful aroma, and I'm going to line it up with my soap. And I'm gonna line it up here with my soap cutter Evangeline, available at nurturesoap.com, and I'm going to press down very gently so that the cut is nice and even. I'm gonna try to not make the noise too loud, lest all of you people think that I'm just lying to you and not pressing down gently. I promise I am. It still sounds so loud. So now I'm just gonna pull out one from the center, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So you can see that purple blended with the white looks really, really gorgeous, and then that green, oh yeah. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below, and hey, if you're interested, don't feel any pressure at all. You can always hit the notification bell so the Soap Fairy alerts you every time I upload a new video. And until next time, I hope you all have an absolutely royal day, and bye for now. Meow.